It's been good. We got through a good bit of work. Obviously reviewed the game, and I suppose looking ahead now to Scotland test game in 4 days' time.
Just having reviewed the game, are you any closer to figuring out what went wrong?
Yeah, just a little bit of accuracy on our part, and England are a good team, and they exploited on opportunities we gave them. So I suppose if we get back to trying to be accurate and do what we do, which it isn't easy to do in Test match rugby, but if we try to get back there, we're hopeful that a performance can improve.
We've heard stories in the past of Joe's video sessions being pretty tough. Was it one of those? Did he have a few harsh words down there?
No, I think there was a few truths, but you're not trying to slate players or anything like that. It's just learning, really, isn't it? And we have a short turnaround, so you have to take the learnings on board and have to put them into this weekend.
And does that help that you have that short turnaround now? You can get together, throw in away, and focus on Scotland.
Yeah, that's the nature of professional rugby, isn't it? And I suppose in Six Nations you don't have any time to dwell, so pretty sharpish. Obviously met on Sunday night and Monday, and turned the pace today, and we got a good training session now.
To what extent do you put it behind you, Tadhg?
Pardon, sorry?
To what extent do you put it behind you, or how much that hurt defeat hurt do you carry on with you?
Look, losing games is never nice, but it doesn't mean you throw it all away either, and you start changing things massively. I think if we get back to the accuracy that we can bring, we're confident we can bring the performance as well. And obviously, you have to take the learnings, but you don't carry hurt with you into this weekend and maybe try to do something you wouldn't usually do or whatever. Just go back to what we do well.
Joe spoke after the game about, I suppose, his concern of how slow Ireland tend to start tournaments. Like you had Scotland 2 years ago, France last year, albeit Johnny took the game out of the fire, and obviously England then at the weekend. Is that an easy fix, or how do you go about fixing that to make sure it's not as slow?
Again, I think it's about doing what we do well and being more accurate with those things, and I think that's definitely a learning for us. Yeah.
Is it a different mood around the place this week?
In terms of, obviously the lads were disappointed to come back in Sunday, but again, the nature of the game is you have to, I suppose, recover. You have to put those sort of that hurt aside, because you still have to prep up for a test match this weekend, and obviously you go through the highs and lows of physically and mentally you're low after a game, but we still have to do our analysis. We still have to, I suppose, look after ourselves to ramp it right up at the end of the week. And it's not an easy place to go to Murrayfield, as we found out last time we were there.
Rugby being physical, obviously, is it easier to play with a bit of a chip on your shoulder or something to prove?
It isn't. I suppose we want to control what we can control, and as a player, I suppose you always want to bring, especially as a front five, you always want to bring, I suppose, that physical element to the game. As long as you can control that and still accurate, or I suppose deliver on accuracy will be the main thing. Sometimes when you go out too hot-headed, it affects your performance. So I think everyone's just focused on trying to be as accurate as we can.
One of the things as well, obviously, is that Scotland are a very different side to England, aren't they, the way they play?
Look, they play a lot of with a lot of width and a lot of depth, and that's not to say England don't do that either. They have ball players all around the game. They have really good strike runners, and I suppose they tend to play with that small bit more width than England would. Yeah.
Just go back to that hurt again, Tadhg. You're not machines, like you are human, as Joe pointed out after losing on Saturday. So surely you will use some of that hurt as motivation for Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Motivation to work harder and get our stuff nailed down and try to be more accurate. It doesn't mean that we go out absolutely banging our chests, and we have to start accurately. We've seen when we weren't quite on our game 2 years ago what happened over there, and they had such a lead. So I suppose we have to be composed and accurate.
So you mentioned being accurate, but what exact areas do you need to be more accurate in? Like, what was the main learnings from the week?
I suppose some of the opportunities we gave them. They scored a try early. And little things about that, some individual mistakes that wouldn't usually happen.
Were there any positives you can take out of being the match? Like the scrum was solid, but any other thing? Like, it's all sort of.
Yeah, look, I thought the line-out went quite well. Probably didn't get the opportunities to go to the mall as much as we would have liked. I think the lads worked hard, you know what I mean? We worked hard for each other. There was good work rate. We created opportunities and we didn't necessarily take them in attack. So, there's plenty to focus on and to work on,
Does this result have any bearing on what might happen in Japan, or is it just too far away? Bragging rights, something like that.
No, we haven't talked about it at all. I don't think it's been on anyone's mind. I suppose the nature of it is that the preparation time is so condensed. All you have to focus, or all you can really focus about, is what you do and what the team do, and trying to get that cohesion together.
So just in terms of trying to create chances last weekend, obviously quite a few times when you picked up possession, it was very difficult to try and get any kind of yardage. You were getting hit by 2 English players at the time and so on. Like, how much of that is down, maybe not even to your own inactions, but how well England actually played the game?
Yeah, massively. I think a lot of teams deploy the same sort of defensive system, line speed now, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, and a lot of time nowadays it is 2-man tackles. But we probably created opportunities in the wider areas where either we can get the ball to or we didn't exploit, and that's part of it. That's part of the accuracy we were talking about.
Did you feel it was almost like coming up against a mirror, because like watching England, they defended in a very similar style to the way the Eagles do?
Yeah, I suppose. Look, we're used to training against it week in, week out, and it is a similar defensive style. And obviously, they kick quite smartly and put us under pressure.
Did they play anyway differently from what you had prepared, what you expected beforehand, or was it?
Not massively, no.
What of Scotland this week? What are you expecting from them off the back of their win over Italy?
No, they're going really well. They're strong. I think they had a good November, and the two provincial teams are in Glasgow and Edinburgh. They're going really well, and they're both in the quarter final of Europe. So they're flying along, and they've some big players come back in as well. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. Playing away from home is never easy, and I think all the lads are really looking forward to it.
Can you read anything into the way Italy came back in that match, or was it just Scotland had job done and they took their foot off the gas?
Yeah, look, obviously we'll look at it and I suppose decipher what our plans we're going to bring into the game. But look, it's probably a bit of both, isn't it? Italy playing well, and yeah.
Expect them to try and find a workaround at set piece again. Was that weird line out where they had it back in the line out 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, they're really smart. They come up with some really good plays. I think their strike plays they use from off line out and scrum are really good. And I think some of the backs they have, obviously their set piece is good. A lot of the Edinburgh boys in there who are doing really, really well at the minute. But out the back of that, they have some really, really dangerous runners in the wider channels, and obviously Finn Russell pulling the strings at 10.
Yes, so due to be kind of fairly aware of the unexpected from them in those kind of moves, and as you said, Finn was good.
Yeah, you can't switch off, and obviously they play the game quite quick and fast and with a lot of weight. So it's really important to us that we work hard, and I suppose that we don't get caught off guard with anything. Yeah.
It's a bit where obviously CJ's been ruled out, with an update on the likes of Devon and stuff like that. Has it been disruptive this week that this team might have to make a few changes to the pack as well?
Not really. No, I think we always take pride in if someone drops out for whatever reason, that there's lads in the background there that can slot straight in, and I don't think whatever the team is, everyone's comfortable with it and getting on with their jobs.
Considering the way you performed last week, is it almost a relief? Are you glad to have the opportunity to get back out again this weekend?
Yeah, it's nice having a game 7 days later to try to rectify some of the wrongs. You have to, absolutely.
I'm sure the team management will make sure the bus route's 100% this time around, but when you think back to a couple of years ago, how much did that actually throw you in the day?
It's hard to say. I suppose if you look back, it was my first, I suppose, proper Six Nations where I thought I was starting the game, and yeah, we were in the dressing room I think about we're pretty much in and out, and we're out to warm up. It's no excuse either. You have to be expect the unexpected. It's what can you do? You have to get on with it, and it's hard to say if it affected or not. But we definitely started slowly.
Were you going mad on the bus? Like, what was the atmosphere like on the bus if you were that late? Or did you know you were late? Did you know you were late?
I can't remember. You probably just tend to be in your own little zone in the bus, but I don't know.
Do you notice the bus wasn't going where it should be going? You've done that run before.
I'd never done the run. I don't know. All I knew was we were getting in the dressing room and it was a bit tight on time, so everyone threw on the boots and went outside.